Hi, I'm Bob Dixon. Welcome to the Leader's Edge Hot Takes edition of the Five Eagles Insight Podcast. For over 3 decades, I served in the military as an engineer and as a strategist, and I learned a few things about leadership. We know that it goes beyond theory. It's about real-world application. So in this series, sponsored by Five Eagles Leadership, we feature industry leaders and share their leadership journeys with you. My mission's simple. It's to help you become the best leader you can be. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. If you'd like to be considered as a guest in upcoming episodes, please go to 5eaglesleadership.com/interview and apply today. Now, let's get started.
Hey, welcome back to the Leader's Edge podcast, where we feature leaders in every industry from around the world. And today is no exception. We have with us Tajwar Chowdhury, who's with Omera Petroleum in Dhaka, Bangladesh. This is our first guest from Bangladesh. Tajwar, thank you for being here, man. This is great.
Thank you, Bob, for giving me the opportunity to participate in this meeting. And I'm grateful to be a part of it.
Very cool. So give us an overview of your company. Tell us about Omera Petroleum.
So our main product is LPG, that stands for liquefied petroleum gas. It's a mixture of butane and propane. So this application is basically used for households, cooking, boilers, utilities, and for automobile application. So our distinction plays in terms of the fuel. It's environmentally healthy while the unit price is lower, and also for Bangladesh where a lot of natural gas gets imported, this is more reliable. So we sell it inside the cylinder. That's why you will see a part of cylinder, a picture of it anywhere where you search Omera.
Very cool. Yeah, a lot of people don't think about where does this stuff come from? How does it get packaged? How does it get distributed? And how does it get used? So it's great to connect with somebody that understands, a whole different industry that people don't normally pay a lot of attention to.
Yes, right. Like in general, business, the most important components is the supply chains, the capex, the opex. It's like, so that all the process, because even when people needs to know the mindful about what they're selling, why the consumer wants it, providing the product or the service, how would the consumer's problem be solved?
Yeah, exactly right. Keeping your focus on what problem you're actually solving for somebody then helps connect you with that consumer in a way that people who just think they're pushing out a commodity, they don't see it the same way. So what would you say is like the biggest challenge in your industry?
Okay, so the LPG, unlike fuel such as diesel or octane, they have a lot of distinction and viscosity. Unlike those other energy sources, so when it makes it really hard to have a USP or unique selling point, because our company is a little bit, the operating costs are comparatively higher than our competitors, which allows us the prices to be a little bit pricier or expensive. So since the material is the same, the LP gas, this creates a huge concern. But we are addressing the problem by emphasizing a lot on our supply chain and logistics, by ensuring that we always get to the product, always it comes to the point and goes to the end consumers. Like this is our main focus. Like during the time of COVID, when there was a global disruption of supply chain, we ensured that the LP gas is being served to everyone in need. Even we had a unrest last year, a national unrest. This is time also impacted a lot of global supply chain and the major imports to Bangladesh. But we maintain that consistency, and despite we have a higher pricing due to our high operating cost. We are um, giving our promises through our service, logistics, and supply chain.
Yeah, so having a higher operating cost is something that can be a real challenge to overcome because you have to communicate that to clients in a way or customers in a way that they understand the value. Like, why are our operating costs higher? Well, because we provide services in a unique way or in a way that the other people don't, and that should translate to some value to the customers. How do you articulate that?
So, you see, like when it comes to consumers, like if you're explaining your operating cost, like vice versa. So they like the consumer's point is they're trying to purchase a product, and if like they're finding it somewhere else where the price is a little bit lower, so their like point would be, look, I can get my product somewhere else. Like if you're charging me $40, I can get it for $20. So the way we articulate that, like whenever consumers comes to us, because even the seasons varies. Sometimes you see during the winter season, a lot of people tends to eat more in their houses, goes to the restaurants more. Also during the rainy seasons. So we always, no matter what happens, we're always there. Like whenever people reaches to us, we're never that no, we like it's gonna take time, but we don't do that. We provide whenever it's required. And to put it on the consumers, we have to keep a lot of promise. So
Mm.
yes, like with consumers, we are more focused on service and our transportation.
Well, certainly in Dhaka, Bangladesh, transportation is a challenge. The traffic there is legendary. How does that affect you?
Yes, you are right on that aspect. The traffic is a huge hurdle. So, like when there are big deliveries, our industrial clients, our B2B clients, this does create a hurdle, but we try our best. Like we do a lot of focus on the logistics, trying to find out the right KMPL, the right kind of vehicle, the right way to go to the end destination. So as I just stated before, like we put a utmost priority in our logistics, just like in supply chain.
Yeah, I think that's it's got to be the right focus there. It's such a huge challenge for everybody in terms of mobility around the city. It's a huge city. Is that where most of your clients are? Is within Dhaka?
Uh so no, it's all over around the country in Bangladesh, like 64 districts. But like in terms of quantity, because Dhaka is the capital city, in terms of the restaurants and the household, yes. But if we look at like industries where like people tends to make it in the outside the city, so for the industries outside of Dhaka, but for household, for restaurants, for automobiles, mostly it's Dhaka. Yes.
Yeah, so that it becomes such an interesting challenge that I think a lot of people who haven't dealt with large primate cities like Dhaka may not consider the kinds of challenges that your logistics has to face. So somebody looking at it from the outside may say, "Well, listen, I deliver a similar commodity in Illinois. It's not the same problem that you face." So being able to be creative about I love you talk about the different kinds of vehicles because some vehicles can get through spaces there that couldn't get there, other vehicles can't, and then separating by time. So we don't try to deliver during the busiest hours and things that I don't think that people even in New York City have to face the same kind of challenges that you do.
You see, like our consumers' culture is like if they're asking for a product, like it has, despite of all the traffic jam, it has to be there within their
Yes.
expected time frame. So that's why the time where a lot of communication takes place. Like, we try to communicate, try to make them understand, or do our best approach to reach at the end point, like end customer.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you can understand the customer's challenge there is if they don't have their gas, then they can't open their restaurant today. So their livelihood depends on you delivering. And so I can absolutely understand them being demanding about that and not really caring that it's your problem that there's a lot of traffic there to overcome.
So currently we set up our B2B project. So this is where we provide a reticulation like several of the cylinders together. So like at first if four of like we provide like in a cylinder we provide like 4 to 6. So one of them we keep it optional. So let's just say if the other four of them they're done with their gas. So because like the restaurants are huge demand, so if they're waiting for the logistics, it might take time. So in the reticulation system, we keep one or two as a backup. So as I said, we focus a lot on the services, the communication, the logistics, so that we can make up our higher costing with the consumers.
Yeah, I think what you're trading there is reliability. That's what you're selling is that you are delivering maybe the same product in terms of the gas itself, but the reliability and the communication piece. So your superior logistics are enabling you to do that. Did I get that right?
Yes, yes. Because
That's awesome.
um the company chairman, the boards, they have the vision to make it um spreadable around the country, around the 64 district. So given that right now we have like 22 competitors to 20 to 25, so it makes it a really harder. As I just say, the prices, the products is same, but even though there are some products they're a little bit higher than us, however, they're more focused on niche. Unlike us, we're focusing on the mass market. So these are the creative steps we are trying to ensure so that our leaders, our shareholders' visions, stakeholders' visions can be fulfilled.
So it's a great challenge and a great vision to be able to mass market and to be able to deliver the logistics and the communications that you do, so that your product does get to your end customer, your end user. So where do you see your industry going in the next 5 to 10 years there?
So, first of all, the vision that our leaders are hoping. So, in the 5, 10 years, we're trying to have as much as possible of our presence throughout the whole country. And then we're also finding out new solutions. Like one of the project we are doing, like still on a trial and error basis, is the propane project, which is used for alternate of the natural gas whenever there is a scarcity to provide in a generator. We're having challenges that because the amount of output the propane can provide compared to the natural gas or diesel is lower to the generator. However, the prices for the unit cost is a little bit high, but we're still working on that. And we have two of our prime time customers are still experimenting our product. So this is one of our upcoming projects we are working on along with the mass marketing. Also, the butane that you see in the lighter um, is one of the component of the in LPG, the butane. So right now we're providing it to the industries, but in the future we are trying to develop so that we can specifically provide right to the lighter. So these are two ongoing projects, and along with mass marketing, we're trying to upgrade and move forward in the next 5 to 10 years.
Cool. So Tajwar, what is your role there at the company?
So my role is like CEO's execution, like whatever the strategies, the policies that are circulated by the CEO. My job is to ensure that all of these tasks and delegations are being followed up properly, are being worked properly, and ensuring that smooth coordination between all of these cross-functional departments. So I'm like more like doing a pre-step of COO. However, if the we don't have a COO, but when the COO arrives in the future, maybe that will lead me to help COO to understand as much as possible of the daily ongoing operations.
That's a huge challenge delivering on all of the promises, right? We make promises to our customers that we are going to deliver something of high quality on time, and then you have to go through all of the processes and get all of the right people moving in the right direction to make that happen. So I'm sure you've got a lot of people working for you to help make that happen. How do you hold them accountable to getting stuff done?
So you see, let's just say that as an example, we're doing a project. So say that we're finding a warehouse. So what happens? There are a lot of concerned departments, such as the safety department, the logistics department, the sales department. So you see, everyone has their own distinction. So the sales will be more focused on selling the product with the consumers, the communication, where the logistics team, the supply chain will ensure the delivery the right way to the right standard to the right time. And then since it's a flammable product, so a lot of safety precautions have to take place. So you see, when these stakeholders are all together, a lot of time it's common to disagreements to happen because once our aim is for providing the right logistics supply chain and sell, but we have to be compliant. Like things in Bangladesh, you'll see in general, a lot of company doesn't follow. So this creates a hurdles to the customers. Like as I just said, it's the same product. So the consumers would be, look, I can buy from my other operator or there are other companies. So there are not that much protocol, especially for industrial projects for automobile, like for auto gas stations. So this is the way when I have to ensure trying to under like trying to understand everyone's point of view and then come to a decision. Yes, we are compliant, we follow the policies and the procedures. However, we give the right service. So taking all these considerations into a one plate, into the round table, and then implementing in such a way which is beneficial for all of the stakeholders mutually.
That's a huge challenge, balancing all of those requirements. And you're right, there are a lot of people in many different industries that they think of safety as a secondary or even a tertiary consideration, and they're willing to take shortcuts because it's expensive. To do things exactly right, to follow all of the protocols is expensive, and I can deliver my products cheaper if I ignore those things. But boy, that's a risky way to do business. So I'm glad to hear that you're complying with the protocols that keep you safe, especially with something like gas.
I mean, yes, because it's well, like the one of our core values of our company is being compliant. So no matter what happens, we will follow the procedures, the policies, economical, the governmental, like everything a company needs to make. We will do our best approach. We might not be perfect, but because you see what happens, like if I say in a marketing language, say that the consumers are being putting a safety that requires a lot of work and effort. So yes, they're doing it in their own way, dealing with the gas. But if an accident takes place, and then at the end of the day, it is the brand that will suffer. Yes, it's right. Whoever
That's right.
being a victim of a gas, it's a terrible. But the thing is, people will like the community will perceive that it is because of their products that disaster took place. So it's not that like just being like not for saying for ourselves only, like it's just you know sensitive products should be dealt sensibly.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you've got this vision of spreading out over all 64 districts there in Bangladesh, and you've got a lot of competitors you have to overcome. What's the biggest challenge for you in achieving all of that growth?
So as I said the pricing is one of the main challenge, and then there are a lot of illegal refilling taking place. So
Ah,
you see, like a lot of places in Bangladesh aren't economically that solvent. So people like when who's having financial problem, they will tend to use the products they're 60% cheaper than the regular retail price or the set price. So what happens that a lot of illegal refillers, they buys for like our 45 kg cylinders, and then what they does that they buy the small cylinders for 12 kg SKU, and they refills it. You see, like let's just say that I have two containers. So one of them is 25%, the other one is, how would I say, 30%. So they'll do what? Like if it is 30% and if the bigger cylinder is 25% and it requires, maybe 25% will fill out 90% of it. So they does it themselves and mixes water, sand, whatsoever.
oof.
And then because whoever are suffering from economic issues, they will always aimly to buy the one that is deemed less pricier than the average one. So this is
Mm.
also creating a great problem. We are working on it, trying to like aware people, sending out informations, because gas and like gas is something that a regular people without right preparations or without expertise or certifications, they shouldn't deal it themselves because it can create a huge disaster and a lot of accidents
Yeah.
happen due to this. It's being
Yeah.
challenging, but we're working on it. Yeah.
It's what I mean. What a great point that you have to overcome the competition with the an illicit market that is not following the protocols because why would they? So it's a boy, what a huge challenge for you. Um, what So let me ask, what is next for you personally? What is going to happen in your personal growth as a leader? What's next?
What's next is so right now, like my main goal, like to become a leader, like people need to understand and always ensure that he can run a like couple of departments. Like the thing isn't in a company. Like if you are a leader, if you are a owner of a company, so you focus, you know how in order to sell a product, the right infrastructure, the right manpower, the right resources, the right supply chain. So when you can accumulate all together and understand how the flow goes. So currently I am like trying to gather as much as experience, and when I will be able to master my skills, maybe I might myself might start something. But for now,
Oh, an entrepreneur. Okay.
but now, for now, I am like learning every day and how to like work together in a cross-functional approach. Because you see, it's not only the job description that matters the more, because everyone has their personalities. Everyone is different. Nothing would ever happen was written on the paper. So it's all mixture of communication, tactics, studying, research, and combined into one flow.
Yeah, it is. I think you're right. There are leadership skills that you've got, or that some people have, but it's not enough just to have skills and do things one particular way because the people that you're leading are all very different and they need to be communicated with in a way that they understand best, and you need to lead them in a way that connects with them, and that's how you become that great leader, connecting with your people. Tajwar, this has been a great conversation. Tell me what's the easiest way for people to get in touch with you?
So the general way people can get in touch with me via LinkedIn, and then I have WhatsApp, so people can communicate with me there. Since I'm not currently in the United States at the moment, so my number you can find me through the WhatsApp more mostly. And LinkedIn is also a great tool for communication.
Perfect. Perfect. We'll make sure that your LinkedIn address is or connection information is in the show notes. And I can't thank you enough for being here. I think most of us, particularly in the United States, don't think about the challenges that many leaders face around the world, particularly in something like moving a volatile product that's very dangerous and the safety that goes into it. And then at a place like Dhaka that has traffic challenges, which makes your logistics so much more difficult. But there you are, overcoming them and hopefully growing your business in a very, very big way coming up. So thanks so much for being here, and hopefully you'll tune in for some of our other podcasts coming up in the future.
Yes, thank you very much for providing me the opportunity, and it'll be more a great opportunity to be more of your sessions. So like being engaging more is something that help people to learn more and being aware. So you see, like the interesting thing about the entire like world is everywhere the culture is different. Like when it comes to marketing, like the strategy is different, like the culture's mindset. So the fun thing is, yes, it gets challenging, but when you learn to like uncover and understand the people's flow, the consumer's flow, people's psychology, that's what the most fun part a person can do and learn for their growth and development.
Right, so our guest today has been Tajwar Chowdhury, and he's from Dhaka, Bangladesh, and he is a logistics master getting through a very, very tough environment. Thanks again for being here, man.
Thank you very much. Hope you have a great day.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Leader's Edge Hot Take Series. I hope you found today's insight meaningful, valuable, and that you're ready to put them into action. Now, if you enjoyed the episode and want to keep improving your leaderships, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. I post new content every week, packed with strategies, tips, and real-life examples to help you lead with impact. Now, remember, great leadership isn't just about guiding others, it's about continuously growing yourself. If you'd like to be considered as a guest for upcoming episodes, please go to 5eaglesleadership.com/interview to apply today. Keep pushing, keep learning, and I'll see you in the next episode. Be awesome.